Hello, Miss Neville Science students. Here's our second recorded lesson of our new biology unit. We want to remember that biology is the study of life. Okay, biology is the study of life. And as we begin to discuss how living things or organisms are able to function, there are some things, 4 characteristics specifically, that organisms can do that non-living things like rocks, bricks, shoes, and socks are not able to do. So our first characteristic that we're going to look at today is reproduction. That's where we're going to be today. We want to remember that a characteristic is a trait used to describe something. So Miss Neville has fluffy black hair. Miss Neville has brown skin. I have 2 eyes. I have glasses. I have braces. These are characteristics used to describe me. There are 4 characteristics of all living things or organisms. Yes, we want to remember that organisms are living things. Plants, animals, humans, fungi, and bacteria. So the 4 characteristics of all organisms are able to reproduce. All organisms are able to respond to a change, or a new word we're going to learn tomorrow, stimuli. All organisms are able to grow and develop, and all organisms are able to gather resources for energy. We mean by resources food, water, and air. So let's get started on with our first characteristic of an organism, reproduction. We want to make sure we understand that all organisms can reproduce. There are 2 types of reproduction, asexual or sexual reproduction. Please write down in your notes everything that you see here on this screen. And the question we're going to work to answer today is, what is reproduction? It's important for us to understand that reproduction is the creation of offspring. Offspring is another word that you may not know yet. Offspring is just a scientific word for children. Okay? So you are your parents' offspring. Your parents are your grandparents' offspring. And your grandparents are your great-grandparents' offspring. Offspring is a scientific word for that next generation of family members. When we're looking here, we're going to study 2 different forms of reproduction in our notes today. We're going to look at asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. There are 2 types, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So let's get started. Sexual reproduction, please write down what you see here. Remember, this lesson is recorded, so feel free to go back and watch the recorded version again, or pause it so you can write some things down. So sexual reproduction requires 2 parents to create offspring. Remember, that word offspring means children. It requires a male who contributes sperm and a female that contributes an egg. As we discuss sexual reproduction, we're going to find that we need 2 parents, a male and female, to create the offspring. So male, plus female equals offspring. And it's important for you to realize that plants and animals are able to sexually reproduce. Okay? So when we're talking about sexual reproduction, the question then becomes, what do the offspring of sexual reproduction, what do they look like? So we want to make sure we understand that because the offspring is getting traits from the mom and the dad, okay, they're going to be similar to the parents, but they won't be identical. Yes, I don't want you to take it literally when someone says you look just like your father, you act just like your mother, because it doesn't mean exactly like you're very similar to them. No, you can't be identical to either parent because it took two parents to create you. Asexual reproduction is our second form of reproduction, and asexual reproduction, get this, requires only one parent. It's important for you to understand here too that asexual reproduction occurs in plants and animals. Okay, so asexual reproduction usually just requires one parent. Okay, in plants they usually call it the mother plant. And because the offspring only inherits traits from one parent, the offspring is identical to the parent. The offspring is identical to the parent. So asexual reproduction is often seen in plants, animals, and bacteria. We see in this picture that I want you to draw here that this is our mother plant. Okay, and that mother plant, her roots extend out. Okay, this is roots and shoots, a way of reproduction. Extend out, begin to grow underground, and then start to shoot up from the ground. And we can notice here that the offspring one, feel free to label it like I am, and offspring two look identical to our mother plant. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this recorded lesson. Please contact Ms. Neville by email, remind, or cell phone if you have any questions. Have a great day.